Welcome everybody to a special Black Friday post-Thanksgiving edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I'm fresh out of the shower. I just got out of bed. I can't believe how late I slept after this unbelievable feast, food coma for me. And at about 11 o'clock. I hadn't slept this late since, I think, college. It was crazy. But gentlemen, welcome. Jeff DeForest, Mike Lubie. Lubitz, congratulations. Lubie, I see something different about you today. What's going on?
He's losing some hair. Looks like you're in a new place there, Lubie. What's the deal?
We are moving in today. Today is the day. This home you've heard about for a while. We've got a lot of work done, and we're finally moving in. And sorry for the echo. It's an empty room, but I wanted to show you.
Never apologize. Don't ever apologize. Nobody cares.
Hello.
No, I like, you've got that little bit of a hollowed out feeling, but again,
like you're doing a Lou Gehrig speech. Today. Well, congratulations, Lubie. I mean, you look great, and I already like. There's a developing background here, which is a tremendous enhancement from what you had working before.
I can't tell what is there on the background. Most people have books to show people how erudite they are. You are. What do you have, like horror movies, or is that?
These are all books. They're different books we've gotten through the years, and I figured you couldn't read any of the titles, so that works out really well.
Oh, I thought they were like DVD cases or VCR things.
Louis used to confiscate everything free that came to the station. And then if there was something that was completely undesirable, he would say, "Hey, Defo, this one came with your name." And it would be some, schmenky item that nobody would ever, use or display. And, in the meantime, he's got like all the bestsellers from Feinstein and all this other stuff. I mean, he's got autographed copies of Season on the Brink, original printing. It's amazing.
Okay, so it's sports themed books. Do you have Swagger up there, co-written by our friend Dave Hyde? Has he sent the review edition yet? Because I didn't get mine. I'm going to have to start. I'm not. You know what? I don't want to be a schnorrer, but I would like.
That's what this business is all about.
Welcome.
We're waiting for our free copies.
Yeah, where's my copy?
And if we don't get them, that'll be the last we mention Jimmy, Dolphins, or anybody else associated with his career at University of Miami.
No, we love Hyde. We love Jimmy. We love Swagger. It's going to make a great stocking stuffer. I just want to be able to stock my stuffing or stuff my stocking for free. So because that's
well, you're a journalist. If it's not free, if it's not catered, it's not journalism, right? Well, and speaking of catering, man, it looked like you had a pretty spectacular Thanksgiving.
We had a great spread.
Lovely Michelle Mayo outdid herself, and you did nothing, which was great, except show up.
So I have some good news and bad news today. The good news is I got on my scale this morning, and I weighed the same exact amount that I did on Tuesday when I did a weigh-in earlier this week, pre-Thanksgiving. The bad news is that number is 240 pounds, and that's just like,
you're ready to fight Chuck Wepner, and you're going to be the guy with the size. Yeah, no, that's not good.
It's never good when you're just like sitting at your desk like I am now and just start breaking into a schwitz and sweating for no reason. And I'm wondering if I'm having some sort of cardiac.
Everything hurts. Yeah, no, it's not good.
You haven't done anything.
You're coming into that age, too. I mean, you got a free pass for about 10 years because of the longevity factor now and the lifespan of humanity. But you got to get it together, kid.
Got to get it together. The promised land of Medicare, and then I'll just be able to go to every doctor in the world and with a limousine and check it all out. But
it's not, I mean, they can't wait. I get letters like I get casino come-ons now from doctors. Hey, why don't you come in, man? We'll check you out. Come in on a Tuesday. We'll have a cup of coffee.
Oh, man.
Where it used to be like 6 years to get an appointment to see a doctor. It's incredible.
Oh, well.
So how was the turkey? How'd it come out, man?
It was great. The exterior came out, a little bit on the darker side, and no, it wasn't overcooked at all. It was delicious because that brine.
Hey, watch out! You're on thin ice as it is.
No. It was a 4-star meal on a 4-star scale. I'm never going to denigrate Michelle. And I posted the pictures this morning of the full feast, and it was spectacular, and everything was delicious. And there's a couple of comments on there that one woman said, "I want to find investors and open up a restaurant with Michelle, and we could call it either Bewees, which is
Chateau Michelle."
Well, Bewees stands for best ex-wife ever, or she wanted to call it Baby Mamas. And I know how much that term.
Well, then you would think of like a soul food type of thing, not to make any kind of connotations.
No, you see,
I don't want to get into one of those.
That's your own prejudices.
Who was it? Bob Trumpy got in a jackpot for that?
Yeah. Anybody could be a baby mama. It doesn't matter your race. So
it's I mean, Louis is in agreement with me.
Let's leave that.
Everybody else.
Let's leave that alone.
I'll say this: a couple of things. My son, unbelievable cook. I never underestimate his ability to put something really great on the table whenever he's preparing food. But wow, I mean, he blew me away. This turkey was the best turkey I've had since my dad was cooking back in.
Really?
Absolutely fantastic. Couldn't have been any better.
The
And then,
dressing.
speaking of people where I don't understand how investors are not flocking to Boynton Beach and
Oh,
causing traffic jams on Gateway Boulevard to get Tommy T to open up a brick and mortar place, call it Tom's Louisiana Kitchen. I just took a couple of bites of the leftovers and I tried to glom as much of it back as I could, even though it's Thanksgiving. The whole idea is that I'm turning these people on to this stuff, but I'm very miserly watching the portions that people are taking, and then I'm thinking, do I take the tin or do I take like a couple of little Tupperware dishes of this stuff? But absolutely mind-blowingly good and unbelievable. How this guy doesn't have like a million investors flocking to get a New Orleans style restaurant open beyond. I don't know if he wants it, but it's beyond my comprehension. People haven't gone on to that level yet.
Tom T, I don't know if he's on the airwaves today to checking in, but no, I think what I understood was that he was kind of semi-retired and just taking it easy. But these chef types, they just can't help themselves, and sometimes they just want to just keep
When it's that
creating
good,
and
you should
go
keep
into
doing
the.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's at the top of his game.
Yeah.
I just don't think he wants to put in those 18, 16-hour days, 7 days a week, which is what
Maybe
you
an
gotta do if you got.
executive position. What I'm looking for with this network here, the
uh,
South Florida Live channel.
really, you're going to be an executive producer? Wow,
Executive
that's-
production. In other words, wherever the hell I am, I call in and go, "Hey, Lubie, did you get a show on the air today?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay,
Yeah.
good."
That's good. So
Where's my money?
so the lasagna was a hit. In other words,
Oh
people
my
were
God, everybody loved it. Well, Kelly, my son's wife, Kelly, loves New Orleans food, and she
like,
actually is a big fan of Let's Eat South Florida and watches the show. So she was well aware. She had seen pictures of Tom Tanazzini's stuff, and when I said I was bringing this, she was all excited, and we got a jambalaya and one of those crepe lasagnas, and wow, I mean, both unbelievable.
nice.
The
Now the crepe.
jambalaya, you would have thought you were on Bourbon Street. You
Yeah,
really would.
he makes all his New Orleans, Louisiana influenced dishes are just completely
Great.
on point because he
Subtle and
cooked
great.
a long time.
Every taste, every bite.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, but he spent a good chunk of his career in New Orleans, and he knows his holy trinity and laying down the mother base and the roux and all that stuff. But the crepe lasagna, technically not a Louisiana dish. That is a family recipe. He grew up down here, so that's kind of straight up Italian,
Yeah.
American. But they put their own spin on it with the crepes instead of the noodles, and I think it's a brilliant stroke.
Big
'Cause
difference. Yeah, it's so
yeah,
smooth.
it's
It's
just light,
just
and
unreal.
fluffy, and
Yeah.
absorbent, and he uses the bechamel and some of the cheeses. It's just oh man, that's a rich, creamy treat, and it goes
I have a
great
lot of
on
it
a
left,
holiday table.
Mike Mayo. I'm not going to be. I took the scale and I threw it outside in the garbage.
So let me
yeah.
ask you this, Defo.
Yeah.
It was all harmonious. No turkeys ended up being thrown into
Oh
mouths or
no!
anything?
Those days are gone, man.
Good. Good.
I mean, that's when I was running around. I was a real. You could use a word
Piece
that
of
rhymes
work.
with passhole
Piece
when
of
it
work.
came to relationships at that time. I mean, I was always working another angle. And I apologize to all of the women in my life. I actually thought about issuing an apology to my ex-wife, my first wife, Jesse's mother, who was there. And then I said, you know what? That's probably not called for. I mean, why resurrect all of the ugliness of the past when we're having a perfectly good Thanksgiving? But
Well,
no, perfect harmony and bliss, and everybody had a great time. We have a real good family vibe right now and dynamic in
that's
the
great.
divorced
And
family, so it's great.
ditto for the Casa de Michelle, because she had a couple of friends over, mutual friends, and then had my brother and sister-in-law. I had my well, of course, daughter who lives with Michelle, and then my mom came over for the cocktail hour. She made a special appearance.
She looked a little lit,
with
B
her.
Mail.
Oh no, I gave her a
She
little drop
smoking
of
some
wine.
weed? What was she doing? I mean, she
No, I
looked
gave
like she
her a
burned
drop
one.
of wine, and with all the meds that she's on, you give her one little drop of alcohol, and she's in a happy place. And
Yeah.
it was great. Oh, and my cousin Laurie, who just moved to town from New York, who's now living in Delray, has become buddies with the whole crew up there with Dick Steen and Joe Cassell. She's been to a couple of events with Best of Delray Beach, but she came, and it was just one of those nights where there was no just no disharmony at all. Nobody's
There
talking
was no
politics
battle
or
over the TV,
no
World Cup
battle over
versus NFL.
anything. And no, we were just watching the games, and it was 3 great football games, and had that on in the background, and everybody got along. It was just really great. And then at the end of the night, like me and Natalia, after everybody left, helped clean up, putting away leftovers, and then we had actually a little family game night. It was just like, it was really good. It felt good.
You took the ex-wife down in a poker game? Did you really do
No,
that, Mike Mayo?
no,
After
game
she
night
turned you
meaning
on to a dinner and everything like that?
no,
You are
we don't.
something.
No, it was these the little trivia games where you handheld and you pass it around and you
Should
try to
have
give
Lubie
clues.
host it. I mean, he does that.
Yeah, that's true. I should have invited Lubie. How was your Thanksgiving? What'd you do? What'd you eat?
Well, Thanksgiving was tremendous. I'm all over the place. Everyone's going to the storage now, and I'm not going to be there, so I feel like a jerk, but I'm not going to tell them no. Amazing. And I posted it on my personal Instagram, and I shared it on SoFly Live's Instagram. I went crazy. She did swap out my favorite side dish, the thing Defo doesn't like that I love green bean casserole, for a broccoli and cheese casserole. That was delicious.
Okay.
The turkey was on point. How do you describe it if you don't say moist? Like
moist. Moist. It was good. It was
moist.
Tender.
Is it moist?
Tender.
Yeah, exactly.
Tender. It wasn't dry. It was juicy. You could say juicy is the other way.
If it doesn't need gravy, it's really good.
Yeah.
If you have to bury it in gravy, then they probably cooked it too long.
Amazing.
Well, the thing is,
the thing my mom does, she does all these hot appetizers too, and it usually backs up into Thanksgiving, and then no one eats Thanksgiving. So what she did this year was we spread it out. We took her time so that there was like an hour between apps and dinner, like if you went to a restaurant, and people actually ate Thanksgiving, which was a lot better. And she's also done this thing where we used to do the old school passing around stuff, and it was sort of a pain in the ass. So she sets up her kitchen as like a buffet.
A buffet line, right? That's what we did.
Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. And it seems
11 people.
She got to sit down. She got to enjoy it. It was amazing.
Nice. So, no.
What's the statute of limitations on Thanksgiving leftovers that aren't frozen? And would you freeze Thanksgiving leftovers if you had a lot?
They got to be gone by Monday, and if they're not gone
Monday,
by Monday,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
because
only a couple of days from now.
Well, first of all, you portion out and give some to some of the guests. I made a plate for my mother. She's going to have her main course today because she just was there for the appetizers. And like one of the our guests,
she wasn't bombed at the end of that, was she?
Oh, no. She
had a little streamer going and a hat on. It was fantastic.
It's all good. But the other couple that came had a son that was working, so he couldn't come. So they made a leftover plate for him. So there's a little bit of leftovers, and usually till Monday. Now, speaking of that couple that came over, this is the one that is an assistant trainer for a horse, Jorge Duarte and the Colts Neck Stables. They got one in an Aqueduct today, and they kind of like them. The Aqueduct Highway Turf Championship, the 8th race on today's card, Defo. So I'm going to give you a little tip. I'm going to give a tip out to everybody there. This could be an early Christmas gift, or it could be a way I could sync your Christmas time. But the 8th race called a horse named Nothing Better. And I like that. There's nothing better than getting a little steam on a 12-1 shot. So if this thing actually runs big.
You've been good with that. Not every horse that people give you is going to be a winner, but you've been very good. I mean, they usually run. Yeah.
So this is supposed to be my horse racing hiatus, but when you get a tip on a 12-1 shot, you got to make.
So what time are you coming out to the casino?
I'm not going to be making it up to Isle because I got to take my daughter to her high school football playoff game. She's cheerleading tonight. They have I guess it's kind of the regional finals or getting into the latter stages of the playoffs. So no Isle for me. I'll just be doing a little wagering over the phone. But 2 more notes about my meal, which is so funny because I posted it on the Let's Eat group, and hundreds of people are.
Did it draw criticism somehow? I mean, no, get out of here! Really,
it's drawing hundreds of likes, but in the comments, most of the comments are polite, and people say, "Wow, that looks amazing. Where was my invite?" Yada yada yada.
Yeah. Which would be appropriate. You would have.
But it's funny because there were 2 negative notes, or somewhat critical notes. One woman said, because Michelle had a hankering for collard greens, so she made for the first time collard greens with ham hocks as a side dish, besides her usual array of the traditional favorites, like the green bean casserole that came out great. That was for my daughter.
That Lubie wanted to scratch right off.
Oh, no, but those were good. And Michelle, she's such a freak. She doesn't use like the canned Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. She made her own cream of mushroom soup base and then used that in the green bean casserole. Came out great. But somebody said, collard greens doesn't seem to fit. It just doesn't seem to belong. and then somebody else, my daughter, made this wonderful new creative dessert, a trifle, which is kind of a layered thing. It was a spice cake trifle. Trifle is a British dessert where you kind of layer in cake and then cream. And she also made a pumpkin mousse, so it was like layers of a little cakey part and a little bit of the mousse and some. She used Cool Whip instead of whipped cream, and and so
Oh, is this an ice cream sundae? What the heck was she
yeah, it
making?
looked like an ice cream. If you see the picture, it looks
Holy
like it's
moly,
great.
Mayo.
And you dig down, you put it on your plate, and it had a little drizzle on top of drizzled caramel and some pralines or pralines, as they say in New Orleans. And it was great. And I don't usually like pumpkin flavor or spice cake, but this is one of those deals where when somebody makes something really well, and of course it's my own daughter, but it generally is good. I polished off everything on my plate. But it's funny, then somebody chimes in like, "Oh, it would have been better if they used real whipped cream or clotted cream." But you know what? And people are saying, "Oh, what a horrible thing." The Judy Green-Eyed Girl is saying, that made me mad reading that comment. How could somebody say that? But you want to know what an a-hole that I am?
You answered her back.
You said it's
No, there were two critical notes that I may let slip in person during the meal or after the
You can't
meal
do
with,
Huh?
and I said the two things were, I said, Michelle, collard greens, isn't that more of a New Year's Day dish?
Oh,
And
no. Oh, my God.
the
What's
other
wrong
thing-
with you, Mayo? No wonder you're not with this woman anymore.
and the other thing I said to my daughter when she was making the trifle was like, wouldn't it be better with real whipped cream?
Neither of these women is ever going to speak to you again.
And she said, my daughter said, well, the recipe calls for Cool Whip, and I think it's better because it comes out thicker. So she had a response to my critical note.
Right.
But it's so
But you
funny
agreed
that
with the people that were
the two
agent
things that
provocateurs on Let's
the
Eat
two
South Florida.
things that the critic happened to say, and that people with the only two negative notes
It's a
were the
good one.
ones that I actually said out loud. Now, neither one will ever talk to me again, and
No.
that's it. I'm ruled off.
Well, the thing is, a trifle is different layers, and
Yeah.
whipped cream is not thick. Whipped cream's, and it's great that it's light, but it's not really made to put stuff on top of it. Cool Whip's a lot more thick consistency.
Right. You got it.
sense.
Yeah.
It's more like goop, and that's what
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah.
Yes, but for a tiered cake, fluffy.
Because of the whipped cream, it would just collapse on itself. It would be.
Well,
you need
she may as well, use Flex Seal by comparison. I mean, if she was going to hold that thing together with
the Cool
with,
Whip worked.
whipped
Okay,
cream, yeah.
I offered my critical note before I tasted it, and I was proven wrong because the dish came out great.
Tommy
But
T
it's-
just joined us. I hope I don't know if he could clarify his
Yes.
position. If we can get the investors together to, start like a Tom's Louisiana Kitchen in like a main location, is he in or is he just in retirement and happy doing what he's doing? I know he's happy doing what he's doing, but we got to find out. Because I mean, there was just universal rave reviews for every scrumptious bite of this stuff.
No,
and I'm thinking,
every-
how is
he
this
makes-
guy? I mean, not discovered, as a rare entity.
He is
and,
discovered. I mean, we've been, basically, I've been sharing the word about his great stuff ever since. And
you
the
were
funny
an
part-
early advocate. I won't say that.
Well, the funny part is the genesis of it. He was a member of Let's Eat South Florida, and
Yeah.
greetings to everybody that is watching now or later on the simulcast. But
People
he
are
kind
all
of-
lined up at stores trying to get $295 100-inch
All
screen
right, well,
TVs.
let them do that.
Yeah.
Not us. We're lined up at the betting windows trying to get down.
Trying to
on
lose our
nothing
money.
better.
Yeah.
Nothing better. 12-1. But Tom T actually put out a little floater, kind of a question post even before he started this. He said, "How many of y'all would be interested in like getting maybe a little New Orleans, Louisiana cuisine if there was a pop-up stand?" And the survey said, "Oh yeah, we'd love that. There's not enough of that down here." And he went for it, and then he set up his little thing. First, he was out of the food truck that's outside the Novo Brewing. Now he's got more of a setup inside. Then he serves it in the brewery there, and then he branches out and sometimes shows up down in our neck of the woods at that American Legion Hall in the food truck there on State Road 84. I can't wait till he gets back because everything he does is great.
I think
So
he
go
needs to
check-
get like a rolling food truck where he goes through neighborhoods. And
Like
he's
an ice
just got to
cream
keep
truck?
this thing moving. Yeah. We're ringing a little bell there. Maybe some New Orleans jazz.
Get
You
your
get a
gumbo here,
little
gumbo,
Patch Mo on the
jambalaya.
horn. Yeah, that would work. And then everybody be running out there, to
good.
get some of this stuff. But no, it was
So-
great.
Hey,
All right, so
so
that was good. Everybody had a good time. And
yeah,
now
let me,
how did they make out at Tropical Acres?
I'm sure they did a bang up business. I know they capped their reservations at 850. They're only open from 1 to 8 yesterday, and um,
Served
the bottom
850 covers one day.
the 850
Wow,
covers
wow, wow.
on a holiday menu, but Jack said, "You know what? That we capped the reservations, but if a couple of people walk in, if we have a couple of walk-ins, they can serve, they can accommodate up to about 1100 or so. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think they probably left the last two for walk-ins, and I'm sure people did walk in and try to get in there, and hopefully they had a great time. And we love Tropical Acres. It is my place to go when I'm in the mood for great old school Florida feel, genuine hospitality, great value, and great steaks and seafood, because they do it right there since 1949. It's 73 years. That means they're doing something right. 2500 Griffin Road is where they're located, just west of the airport and I-95. They are open this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So if you're hankering for a great piece of prime rib or filet mignon or a rack of lamb after all that turkey, you can head on down to Tropical Acres, because they're going to be serving up all weekend. They are off on Sundays, but this year they're going to be open on Christmas Sunday.
Nice.
Christmas Day falls on a Sunday, and they are accepting reservations for that. So go on to tropicalacres.com right now to look up the information to get your reservations for Christmas Day, 1 to 8 p.m. on a Sunday. They are usually closed on Sundays, but on the big holiday, they're going to be open and serving. And don't forget all the other great weekly specials. The happy hour in the bar every day from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. with the great half price specialties and drinks, and good light bites for $6, like coconut shrimp and sliders made from ground sirloin. It's so good. Then, of course, they got half price wine night on Mondays and Tuesdays, early bird special, the first hour in the dining room, 4:30 to 5:30, and the loyalty reward card, the punch card. Every 12 entrees that you buy, you get the 13th one on the house, up to $35 value. It is tremendous. Tropical Acres, Studio Alley family, they are the best. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Can't believe you had to open up your mouth there at the family dinner. Unbelievable.
Am I an a-hole or
You
what?
couldn't hold back.
The
Yeah.
critic
That's great.
can't-
That's what
critic
makes
can't-
you Mike Mayo, though. It really does. All right, more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox coming up.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Oh, we're back on the Lunchbox. You got me with my mouth full, and I got
What a surprise.
my little
Oh,
breakfast
It's
cereal.
interesting about this show, and I've been doing shows the last 50 years. I've been involved in some form of creating or producing or performing on shows. And you would think that the people would tune in on Let's Eat South Florida to Mike Mayo's Lunchbox to get those sophisticated dining tips and
high
find
end.
out what's hot, what's not, maybe a top 5 list of places to get pizza or whatever. And they really only tune in. The highest numbers by far are when you're slobbering down food
Yes.
as if you were going to the chair, and it would be the last thing on earth I ever think would work, but it's kind of like this whole new approach to say sports journalism, where the more insulting you are, the more popular you are. But I mean, the more grotesque you are on this show, the
It seems
more
like the
people
numbers go
are
up.
curious about what the heck is going on here.
Well,
And
people always they like those extreme eating shows. Remember Man
yeah,
versus Food and things like that. So I guess it's Mayo versus
look at
the
Bourdain. He was
Westerners.
eating stuff that nobody would put in their mouth, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
he ate like
eel
goat anus.
eyeballs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. I'm not going there, but I will. If you do have a huge triple decker sub that want to
He
see
was
me
more
try to sit
subtle
down,
about it though than you are. I mean, when you dive into something, you really attack it. You're like
yeah,
you're
we
like the Mexican fighters that everybody loved because they were pressure fighters. I mean, you're putting pressure on that thing. It's gonna be consumed in a bite or two, and that's it.
well, we don't have a lot of time to mess around. It's not an edited show. I've got to just like dive in there. There's no time for subtlety, and so yeah, that's my style. We got to be true to ourselves. Yeah, I can clean up and behave when I'm at one of those Michelin-starred fancy restaurants. Not by much though, but
I know. I notice they always kind of shovel you off into the corner whenever we go to a place.
yeah,
At first, then they
yeah,
realize we need certain lighting, so they'll put the show out front. But
yeah. They
the
try.
first instinct is maybe you'd have reviewed some of these places. I'm not sure.
Nah, I don't know. And but hey, what's going on for the weekend? Anybody doing anything? Are you shopping, or is anybody actually go out on Black Friday? I
What
know
do I need
Lubie is
at this point
moving.
in my life? Who wants to buy stuff? Lubie is experiencing exactly a midlife crisis when it comes to owning stuff right now. He just bought a new home, and now what? You see him on the phone there going absolutely mishugana,
Right.
telling people, "Hey, no, put that in storage. No, bring it here. No, I'm going to pick up the truck." Moving is a
This is.
disaster, and it's all brought about by the accumulation of unnecessary stuff, my friend. Get
I
rid of
know. I'm
everything.
trying
Yeah.
to edit my life. I want to get all the chazarai and
I
crap
want
out of
nothing. I
my
don't want
life.
to own anything. Nothing.
Minimalism. I want to be just alone with my thoughts and my
Yeah.
prayers.
A
And
cot, a television set, and a vehicle. That's all you need.
yeah,
Tiny.
might be
Yeah.
getting there soon. But look, God bless Luby. He's moving. Like I thought the move was already done. It's like the share tour, the
Yeah.
farewell tour. It's like oh no, I got to move today. It's like didn't we move 3 times in the last 2 weeks? Nope, it's never done. It's like they're buying houses, they're selling houses, they're moving
He
into
did
houses.
this all pretty
And
quickly, though, I would have to say. I
no,
mean,
I give him
compared
credit,
to,
but the
normal
thing is,
standards.
no, but like you say, it's like now he has to buy all this stuff to
Yes.
populate the new house, and
Yes.
you
Yeah.
think he'd be flat broke, but no. What is he doing? He's a man of leisure. He's going off to Hawaii
Why not?
for these
I think
June
he's in those
vacations.
early PGA events. He might have entered into one of those, the
I think
Kauai
he got some
Classic
of
or
that
something.
Saudi money, and he didn't tell us.
Right.
That's what's going on here.
It's a
Are you
business trip for
producing
my
the
wife.
live tour? Are they doing?
It's a business trip for my wife. Believe me, I'm not a man of leisure. We're going to be grinding really hard from December 6th on. I promise. So, no man of leisure
I'm
here.
giving Lalubi the needle, but it's all good. He's going to have a great time. You deserve a vacation. If anybody deserves a vacation,
Sure.
it's you, Lalubi.
He's
So
been on vacation 100 times, this kid, this year. Are you
I
kidding me?
don't
he looks a little.
know since May, Mr.
He's
Atlantic
been to
City.
like Morocco, Spain, to Alaska. I mean, he's been everywhere. He's been swimming with
Look,
dolphins in
look,
the Keys.
no, but look at him now, Defo. He looks a little stressed. He looks like he needs a little time in a chaise lounge in
He always looks
Hawaii.
that way. You know what? Yeah, remember in the Miami News, all right? And Jim Milner was the name of the guy. Do you remember Jim Milner? Were you around here when he was
I was
around?
not. I was a little before.
He was a
my time.
very good horse racing journalist,
I
and
remember
that was
Tom
when
Jicka. I know
they
Tom
used to
Jicka.
cover. They used to and he was with Chica, and he did the handicapping. And I was doing a piece with him one day on TV, and I said, well, what about like looking at horses in the paddock? And he said, well, you have to compare a horse to how it normally looks. I mean, a horse could be all schwitzy and looking like death warmed over, and if he always looks that way and wins, then it's fine that he looks that way, and,
Right.
and that's Lobie.
Normal. Yeah.
Okay,
This
he
is
always
his
looks like
normal.
death, but that's how he always looks.
I know.
This is
Nothing new. I mean, it's not a departure, a deviation.
actually, if you put this in, then we know.
It's true though.
Hey, anyway, so is everybody geeked up? Today is the big
Now, what are you
US.
doing? A lot of people go out to eat, don't they, on Friday? I mean, isn't that part of the fanfare also,
No,
or does
today is
everybody just eat
leftover day.
leftovers?
It's leftover. Friday is
Yeah.
leftover day. By the time
Restaurants don't
Saturday,
do well. I thought it
oh,
was
they
one of
do.
the busier days in the
It
hospitality
is.
business.
No. Again, a lot of people down here don't cook for themselves or go to some place for the holiday, so they don't have the leftovers, and there are a lot of people in town visiting. So it's a huge weekend for restaurants. They're all looking forward to being really packed to the gills tonight,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
They were
That's
killing it over at the Sea Watch yesterday. They must have had
yeah.
some kind of Thanksgiving working because
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
packed like early in the morning
Those
already. Like,
places
yeah.
that are kind of big, old school factories that have done the holiday thing for a long time, they have their dedicated crowds. So Sea Watch is one of them. Tropical
Yeah.
Acres is another, and a lot of the hotels have buffets set up. And I saw somebody, our friend Ellen Freed, went to Shooters on the Intracoastal in Fort Lauderdale. She said there was a buffet there for $75 a head, which is a little pricey, but that's the going rate these days. But she said the quality was great, prime rib, all that stuff. So yeah, people go do the holiday thing, and then they keep on going. And I think this weekend is a good time. I think on Sunday for football games, Dolphin games. Wade and all the pizza makers around town, and also at a friend's Wicked Cheesesteaks. They have good pizza. They're going to make a killing on Sunday because everybody's sick of turkey and they just want a good old cheesy slice of pizza. So that's going to be on my list. I got to go back. I did a pregame meal on Wednesday night that I brought to Michelle, and we
But you
had
have
that.
about 6 pies there from the pizza spot?
No. We got one. I just brought
Oh,
one
one.
over to Michelle she was doing all the cooking, and I got the old favorite that I hadn't had in a while, the Bamba, the bacon and hot cherry
Oh,
pepper.
that's your number one
And let me
special.
tell you, if you could grade a scale, pizza perfection, it was so good. It was so beautiful. It was just like, and by the time I got it home, we
It could be
waited
a
for.
challenge, though, Mike. I mean, Nikki Mohan, who has Caribbean blood flowing through her veins, and
Yes.
obviously can handle any form of spice, and would laugh at people like us, that were schwitzing, from the first bite. She was picking some of the peppers off of that thing. You have to be stout. You have to be ready for some fire with that bomb pizza.
Let me tell you how it went. Michelle loves the heat, so we put it in her. She has the special air fryer thing, but she puts it on a pan. It crisps it up. It came out so good on the reheating end, and
Yeah.
that's a sign of a good pizza. And Wade makes a great pizza at Pizza Spot. And but Michelle loves the heat. She downs them. My first slice, I downed the whole thing, and the second slice, I had to pick a couple of the peppers off. I got to.
You?
Same thing with my daughter.
Woo!
Well, because look at me. I break into a sweat just sitting here doing nothing. You give me some of those peppers, I'm really about
I've
to
seen you
dial
sweat out a
911.
couple of photos at the track.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but that I tell you what, that flavor combination of that hot smoke, the bacon, the
It is a
smoky,
good taste of
fatty
pizza.
bacon
Yeah.
with the heat of the hot peppers, and came out great. So that was
It
good.
was funny though.
Gonna
The
be
most dissed pizza that ever came out of the pizza spot was that vegetable
the
pizza that guy
Pond
said
pizza.
was soggy. And I've said it many times of the pizzas I've had there, which I've tried a few different ones. I think his vegetable pizza is outstanding compared
Yep,
to any
and
and
it
any
crisps up
style.
at
I mean,
home. Yeah.
it's just a flavor bomb. It's unbelievable.
Well, that guy was a
Look,
big.
So
We still don't know. Again, that guy did a lot of the stuff we see in news where he like framed. Like we don't know how long it took him to get home. We don't know when he took the pictures.
Look,
Plus,
I talked to
he
Wade about it.
Man, and wanted it to
Wade
not floppy. Like, what are you talking about?
Wade was good natured about it. He said the guy was kind of being a little pain even
Yeah,
on the phone beforehand. And you know what you're gonna do with those types? You just shrug it off and say, "Okay, we're not for everybody. Go find another place." I
stop just
tell
short
you,
of that sandwich they gave the
and
cops in
and
Casino.
and when I showed him the post and
Yeah,
how the guy called it pond pizza, and then the dog, he was trying to feed it to
yeah,
his dog. Even Wade cracked up because it was pretty funny.
yeah.
But I said, Wade, you got to put up a sign, home with a pizza, and so we love one of our favorites. Hey, we also love, you mentioned Nikki Mohan. We love Visit Lauderdale. We're going to be going out and
What's up
about.
with
And
Nikki? Is she gonna make it to Wicked Cheesesteaks there
I
on
don't
Monday?
know. I have
What do you
to. We're
think?
going to find out after the holiday weekend, or I mean, I'll text
Tell
her
her to
over
clear
the
her
weekend.
social calendar and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
come
and
join us for lunch.
yeah, because everybody loves a good cheesesteak, a Philly cheesesteak, and we like to spotlight the kind of the mom and pop shops, the everyday food that you could get great value, and that's the kind of thing that you get at Wicked Cheesesteaks, which we're going to be Monday right across from Holy Cross Hospital there at on North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial, and we're going to be going to be spotlighting other places like that because Greater Fort Lauderdale welcomes everyone under the sun. And that means all you foodies out there, the culinary explorers and cocktail connoisseurs, craft beer aficionados, come one, come all, get ready to savor every flavor and every every minute. From dockside dining with breathtaking views along the Intracoastal and the ocean, the beach, and lively cafes along Las Olas Boulevard, to award-winning chefs serving up every cuisine imaginable, a world-class culinary scene awaits. So come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale and discover taste sensations at more than 4,000 area restaurants. 4,000 is a big number. I've been to probably 500 of them. And if you give me
Wow.
another couple of years, I could hit them all. But it's crazy, the diversity. So also, don't forget, there's a thrilling nightlife scene with all these great local craft breweries that's along the Visit Lauderdale L Trail. There's also speakeasies and rooftop terraces and all kinds of great mixologists concocting beautiful cocktails. It's a never-ending culinary celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everyone's invited. So, for more information, go to visitlauderdale.com to check out the latest deals, offerings, happenings, etc., etc. And don't forget, we got the big old boat parade coming up in that Saturday in December. And I'm going to just go to the handy dandy calendar machine here to tell you that that's going to be on Saturday. December 10th is the boat parade, the annual Hard Rock Boat Parade. So don't forget to stake out your territory, try to get a reservation at one of the waterfront intracoastal places along the way, or better yet, be like Defo and have a good friend that has a place right there.
No, we're actually on the intercoastal here. So everybody
good.
from this complex lines up, and we all have a space right there on the seawall, and it's a very good view.
Sweet.
Of the whole thing. But we may be going to a different spot here because our friend Big Rich has been having a boat parade party for years, and we shined him on last year because we had the intercoastal access ourselves, so we threw a party here, but we felt badly about it, so we'd rather go there and just poach his food. So it'll be a multiple line, but it's great to be in one of those restaurants. I mean, any of those places on the intercoastal, fantastic.
Very good.
All right, coming back with more. What are you chowing down on there, Mike Mayo? What do you got? Some turkey left over?
I got no. This is I woke up and I got my Special K with the fruit yogurt
You
clusters
eat the cereal the day after Thanksgiving
with some fresh blueberries on top. Oh yeah, I am.
What did you turn over a new leaf today? I mean, just
I
decided
just I just need a couple of grains in me to get me going at the start of the day. And
you are one.
And, let me just keep slurp. Hey, let me slurp because this helps our viewership every time.
It does. They want to see you make a slob of yourself. All right, we're coming back, and we'll wrap things up here in the next segment of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Oh my God.
Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Oh, we're back on the Lunchbox Black Friday edition, post-Thanksgiving. We're in recovery mode. Oh, one more note. I know we were talking about Pizza Spot, but if you want to get one of those delicious pies, better do it this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because Wade and Reese are going on one of their seasonal breaks next week. So they're going to be off from Monday through the following Monday, and they're reopening on the Tuesday. That would be December 6th. They'll be back. Same day Lubie is back. So, yeah, so go get your Pizza Spot pizzas. I want to talk a little bit more pizza because it seems like everybody has their favorite styles and whatnot, but there's a place that's been opening up all over. Started as this one guy from Italy who came over on a visa that was called the O1 Extraordinary Skill Visa. And so now he named the pizza place Mr. O1 Extraordinary Pizza. Wow. They're opening all over the place. The latest one is going to be opening, I believe, in the next week in Fort Lauderdale, downtown near Flagler Village and near where the Top Hat Deli. I think one block north is a place called Santiago's Bodega. That's a restaurant that's fairly new that opened up. They started off in Key West, but next to Santiago's Bodega is going to be one of these Mr. O1 Extraordinary Pizza. Have either of you gentlemen had the opportunity to check out one of their locations yet? No. Well, I have, fortunately.
Wasn't aware of it. Yeah.
Carlos Frias. Carlos Frias was a big early supporter of it. It used to be located in the base of an office building in South Beach. Nice. And I never made it to that location. Carlos Frias sang the praises of it. And now I guess the guy got investors, like Tom T should get investors, and just opening them all over. I've been to two of them, one in Pembroke Pines, one out west, actually on the west coast of Florida in Naples. And I think it's okay. It's a thin thin pizza that is kind of elements of the Italian Neapolitan, a little bit softer in the middle. But the thing that makes it a little different, and some would say gimmicky, is they kind of fold the edges of the crust into these pockets and they stuff it with ricotta cheese. And it makes it look like a star. It's like a 6-pointed pizza that has all these little folds stuffed with ricotta. I mean, for me, it's okay. It's good. But to call yourself Extraordinary Pizza, Mr. O1 Extraordinary, I wouldn't go that far to call it extraordinary. I'd say Mr. O1 okay pizza. So, but everybody go check it out for yourself. That's it. That's my.
You were talking though about the pizza explosion here in South Florida. Yeah. No, so many different types, and everybody's got their own preferences, obviously. And, yet I don't know. Do you find that you would be happy just to find the good old fashioned, the thing that everybody's been seeking for 100 years here, the good old fashioned New York style pizza? If there was some kind of replica of that. No, I don't know. I mean, would that not be something that you would like to throw in the mix as you're trying all these other exotic pizzas? Absolutely. Every now and then, grab yourself a nice greasy slice.
We had our place that we liked, and somebody sang the praises of Costa's and their pepperoni slice the other week.
I saw that. Yeah, no, they got a rave review, which is
they do
well deserved. Yes,
they do a good slice there.
I mean, look, in my life, there's a few. Every place has the area. Like by my parents, a place called Poppy's does a really good job. We've talked about Pasquale's. They do it.
Pasquale's.
Like every place has a decent to good New York. Yeah. Place smalls that I like for other food. They actually do a nice pizza too. So like
and my place for like New York style slices for a long time. On Davie Boulevard, just west of 95. It's a little shack called Pete's a place. So
Okay.
it's
Pizza place.
Pete is the name, Pete apostrophe S with a dash a
Place.
place, which is a little play on a word. But the guy who first founded it, his name was Pete Licata. His son Jack runs it now, and I
Still
find it a
just as good,
very
or
yeah, yeah.
no?
Sometimes it's a little bit doughier and thicker because I kind of like the thin. But overall, it's one of my favorite slices in Fort Lauderdale for a slice joint. I know a lot of people love Times Square pizza. That's over on Federal Highway and Oakland Park Boulevard. I've never been a fan. Every time I've gone in there and grabbed a slice, I found it greasy and just I don't like the way the sauce and the cheese. It never hits me well. But again, this is why pizza is so damn
A lot
subjective.
of
I mean,
people
people rave
have
about it.
been singing the praises of Primanti Brothers on
They're
Oakland Park
solid.
and A1A,
They're solid.
saying they go
Yeah,
there for a late night thing and they have
yeah,
a
but
special going, and they really like the stuff there.
of course, and if you're drunk and it's 2 in the morning, you can't beat it for a
Eh,
slice because those
I
there.
remember going there under the recommendation that it was really good stuff, and it was. It was very
Look at
Were
it.
good.
you sober?
Well, I mean, that's a reasonable question at any time. I don't know
I don't mean to get all
what define sober.
prosecutorial.
I mean,
Fine,
I,
so
there I go.
does that exclude all inebriants? What are
Yes,
you
I
talking about
mean
here?
no, I don't even know my own answer. No, I mean any intoxicants would qualify for maybe making a slice of pizza taste better than maybe it actually is.
Yeah,
But
I mean, sure, you could have a slice of Papa John's and think that you're in someplace exotic
under
and
the
you were
right
stoned enough.
circumstances,
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
yeah, and that's the thing about there are places that that I say have good drunk slices where it's 2 in the morning. There's a place down in Hollywood near Young Circle called Moro's Pizza. They sell these huge triangle slices. And then a place up in Delray Beach on Atlantic Avenue called Sazio's that has, it is a legitimate New York style slice. Again, not my favorite in terms of quality or the taste of flavor of the sauce, but comes in real handy when you're sloshed at 2 in the morning. So those are the places. I hear the music, but we got to do one
Well,
more thing.
it sounds like an experience that you were very familiar with.
Yeah, but yes, it
Since
is.
you named like 11 places that are open at 2 in the morning, which you've gone to drunk, so
It happens. It happens, and
it's
sometimes you need to
an
soak up
indicator of behavioral disorder. Like that.
all
Yeah.
the alcohol. Well, that's all in my past now. I've reformed my evil
Yeah.
ways, except for when it comes to eating Skyline chili and other gross things on the air. All right, we have one last thing.
These food
Stocking
festivals
stuffer
are coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival. You got to do it. You got to go check it out if you haven't been there. It's
Yes.
growing. It's well done. Phil and Kate have organized a beautiful week-long series of food and wine events in Greater Fort Lauderdale that's coming up in January after the holidays. Go to vlfoodwine.com, and there on the website you'll see the full schedule. You'll get the ways to order the tickets, and better yet, if you order the tickets to the big 3 events, which is the cocktail competition on Wednesday, January 11th, the barbecue battle on January 13th, Friday night, or the grand tasting down on Fort Lauderdale Beach there at A1A and Las Olas Boulevard on Saturday, January 14th. Buy those tickets and put in the promo code Lunchbox for an extra 15% off. That's 15% off of the already low ticket prices. Again, food, wine, Visit Lauderdale Food Wine. Check it out, and it's a great way to make the foodie in your life happy for the holidays. That's going to do it, right?
Hey,
Yes.
have a
sir.
great
Hear the
weekend, Mike
music.
Mayo. We'll
Yeah,
see you guys Monday.
Lubie's got places to go and crates to unpack. So everybody out there, enjoy the long holiday weekend. I hope everything that you do is fantastic. I hope you get great deals, great
Yes.
meals, and
Be safe. Don't fight anyone over a microwave. It's a microwave.
yeah, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. All right, and drive safely. And we'll see you on Monday from Wicked Cheesesteaks. Until then, remember to enjoy every leftover turkey leg and enjoy every sandwich.